Welcome to this class on mining machinery. Today we will be introducing one very important type of machinery, that is steel wear ropes. So, as such, when we talk about a wear rope, that is the rope a machine, but if we see that the basic principles on which the way the rope is used, it is a machine. We will discuss about this wear ropes and how it is there. You may be reading some history of these wear ropes. Exactly, the ropes are one of the very ancient applications. Even something about 9000, 10,000 BC, people, the human being used ropes for various purposes, and over the years the ropes of different types have been used, but when we talk about the wear ropes, it's a metallic wear rope. It started getting used from the 19th century, and John Lang and Albert, such type of names are associated with this wear ropes, who introduced this rope for mining operations for many purposes. So, we will discuss about this wear rope and what it is. So, our objective of today's lecture is to introduce wear ropes to you, so that you understand that what is this rope is and how it is made of, and also we may, if time permits, will be discussing about some of the basic calculations, and then we will be taking one more lecture on this regarding the calculations as well as for how the wear ropes are maintained in the mines. So, this after this lesson you should be able to identify the parts of and parameters of wear ropes, that is, what are the main design parameters for constructing a rope, and then also you will be able to explain the differences amongst these different types of rope, and they are used for different purposes, and some basic calculations we may introduce today. Now, let us come into this one, that what is a wear rope. Wear rope is a complex piece of mechanical machinery with a number of different specifications and properties that can affect its performance and service life. It has many moving parts, all working in tandem to help support and move an object or load. When we say like this, the wear rope, which will be used in conjunctions with a drum, maybe a drive, for driving it there will be a drive motor, gearbox, there are brakes, and also there will be certain way the rope will be terminated to the drum or to the appliance which will have to be there. So, it can be used for carrying material from one place to another, that is why it is used as it is for traction purposes, or it can be a static to give connecting to points, and then there are different applications of this wear rope, but basically you will be seeing this for lifting and hoisting. You might have seen some cranes, and those who have been to surface mines and they have seen the mining rope shovel or drag line, you have seen this. Also, if you have seen drill machines, there also you can see wear rope utilizations, but if you go for a oil well drilling site, you can see a huge applications of wear rope for this drill string operations. So, wear rope is also used for transmitting force in mechanisms. So, in aviations, in crane, in transportations, in fishery, in mining, these wear ropes are used. In the figure you can see that how a wear rope looks like. It can be used with a diameter 2 millimeter to 100 millimeter diameter, 10 centimeter, a big thick rope can be there for different purposes. So, normally the tensile strength of the material which is being measured for this wear rope, we are using up to 1470 megapascal to 2160 megapascal, and there basically the ropes are depending on which material you are using. Galvanized steel, that is one of the very common type of material used for making wear rope, and the rope diameter is selected depending on the type of applications. So, in this diagram you can see the various applications in the mining industry where your wear ropes are there. As we say here in the list, the rope haulage in underground mines for carrying your load from the mine face to the shaft bottom, that is to lift it to that's exactly, this is a mine shaft. You can see here these where ropes are hanging, and from this head gear they will be going down the shaft. That cage will be lifted and lowered with the help of this wear rope. Then there could be winch. You might have seen many winches in small applications. The winding and winding rope, there in the shaft there are different type of rope called guide rope or balance rope. While discussing about the winding systems, you will be knowing about these ropes. And then in a machine like this, this is a drill rig for a oil well drill rig. You can see here we are having so many wear ropes for straightening it over there, as well as to lowering down the drill bit down. This is used. You can see here a electric rope shovel where these wear ropes are used for raising and lifting this bucket. Similarly, in a drag line you have got a number of wear ropes. This is a rope cone, that is a new type of conveyor belt where kilometers after kilometer it can run up to India. Also there is a 5 to 6 kilometer. This type of conveyor belt can be used in mining industry. In Sinbit Island, where there is a 38 to 64 kilometer long, a single conveyor belt can be made. This system is called rope con. A very new recent last 10 years only this type of conveying systems have been introduced in the mining industry. There are aerial ropeways you might have seen. If not seen in the mining industry, if you had been to Rajgir or in some places there, you might have seen this how aerial ropeways are there for traveling from one peak to another peak on a hilly region. Then there are also used in underground mine for cable bolting. When you do the underground mining, then when you make the roadway or the gallery in the mines to strip the rope above, there is a your cable bolting is there, so that the rock is left so that the roof do not fall. So those type of applications are also there. Now the steel wear ropes are among the oldest and the most widespread machine elements. There are stationary rope, there are suspension ropes, there are travelling ropes. Now the travelling ropes can be used in your elevators, cranes, everywhere in the big multi-story building. You have seen the elevators, those are also just moving with the help of mostly with wear ropes. Now steel wear ropes are exposed to a very complex stress, that is that while operating it has to get its flexure, tension and compression. These three different types of stresses it must withstand. As you can see that when your lift is being raised by wear rope, if the wear rope breaks, then the whole lift will be falling down from a top. So that means it's a very critical component. Wear rope is a critical component in mining. If the cage is being lowered and raised with people, down below it goes. Say if we remember, though the mine is closed now, more than 1.2 kilometer to 2.3 kilometer down, the cages are going in the mines, and this whole thing is being just suspended by wear rope. So you need to design such wear rope so that it properly can do the job without failure and without any accident. And for that purpose, how the wear rope is constructed, it is same. If you see some of the nowadays everywhere you can see some your plastic ropes. If you take up and cut a plastic rope, you can find there the construction is same, and in case of your wear rope, only the material forming this wear is different. The wears are wound to make a strand, and the strands are laid around a core to make the rope. So that is what is the basic constructions. That means in any wear rope there will be a core, and then there will be the strands, and then there will be this wires. Now, the wire can be laid around a core, which can be also a wire, or sometimes it can be a fiber. So, depending on this, there are different types of rope. Now, this it can have an independent wire as a core, then it is called IWRC wire rope. Now, this type of wire rope where there are number of strands, then we say it also call it as a multi-strand wire rope. Now, the wire rope can be made of steel, iron, stainless steel, monel, bronze, high carbon steel, galvanized zinc coated. There are different types of iron, and that steel of which these wire ropes are made, they are also of different grade of steel. In the metallurgy, they talk about that which type of steel will have to be there. Only thing, these names and all, we need to tell about what will be the total load coming on it, and the breaking strength of the rope is more important. Now, thing is that the material, when it is in a particular wear, it may have a different type of your tensile strength and breaking strength. When you will be winding it, then how it is going to change, those things are there, and there are a wide range of tests that by which you can test that is the rope will be withstanding the load you are carrying or not. Now, when these wires are made in the forming the strands, then the diameter of this rope and diameter of the strand and this diameter of the rope, their ratios are very, very important. If this is very tightly roped, then the diameter of the rope, the ratio of this, the diameter of the wire, that will be telling exactly how much void space is there inside, or how compact the rope is, and that the strength and everything will be depending on that. Now, in case of our mining wire ropes, mining operations are always in a humid and in a very different type of conditions. So, it will have to be protected so that no corrosion takes place, because under the corrosion the rope will become weak, and weak rope, if it ruptures, there could be accident. So, that is why they are always galvanized and steel is used. That steel composition, as you can see here, maybe with 0.5 to 0.8% of carbon, with 0.3 to 0.7% of manganese, then silicon of 0.2 to 2%, sulfur this can be 0.04, phosphorus can be 0.05%. That is a particular type of ideal material which could be used for mining wire ropes, which are normally within 0.2 to 4 millimeter wires are used. Now, if you see that this in the mining applications, already I have said that these are the basic operations or basic machines where it is used, but to make this wire, how the wires are manufactured, it is exactly drawn from heat treated rods. You may be knowing that in Ranchi there is the Usha Martin, a company which is the main manufacturer of wire ropes in India, and they do this by heat treated rods. From there they draw the wire, and this is they undergo the heat treatment, which can be by air patenting or lead patenting. Now, how we are manufacturing, depending on that, the quality of the wire ropes are determined. In the air patenting, the wire rope is heated up to 1100 degrees centigrade, and then it is allowed to cool in air, and in that the rate of cooling, how it is getting cooled, by that exactly this what type of grain structures take place in the wire, that depends, and that exactly determines the quality. So, that is exactly, it is said that when you are doing lead patenting, in which that is exactly the molten lead at 500 degrees centigrade, there these wires are cooled down slowly, then it gives a very uniform grain structure, and because of that the wire becomes more ductile. The ductility and the strength, these two are the main property which are required in case of your making a wire rope, and that is why the lead patented wires are good for manufacturing wire ropes for critical operations. Now, you can see that is from this core around which the ropes is own, that core can be a fiber core, which can be a jute type or this material, and there could be only a core, that is one wire, it can be a core, or number of wire making a strand, and that strand is made a core. So, depending on that, different types of ropes are there. Actually, in the wire rope manufacturing companies, they give sometimes this a plain wire, sometimes they call a wire called seal wire, that is a Wellington wire rope. There are different types of wire rope depending on what are the sizes of these wires and the ropes and the strands, and how they are exactly put it over there. Now, the core around which these wires or ropes are laid, it will be giving as a foundation for the rope, and then it provides a support for the wire, and when this rope will be moving over there, then exactly how the load inside will be distributed. The internal wear and tear of the wires also is depending on what type of core is being used. Now, these wires out of which this rope is made, it can be of different cross sections, like circular cross sections, triangular cross sections, or a full locked or jet shaped cross sections, or half locked cross sections. Depending on that, we can make the strands as a round strand, we can make oval strand or triangular strand, or a flat or this. So, wire ropes can be made depending on the type of use you make it. So, normally if we are having a single wire at the center, and then 6 similar size wires are made to make a strand, and then they are laid, that is called the plain wire laid rope, and which is very less flexible and very low in strength. So, that is why there are different types of advanced rope manufacturing is there. One, in mining industry you will find a locked coil rope, because this you can see the outer surface is made a smoother. If you are making the outer surface smooth, what is the best use of it is, you can see that if your rope is moving on a sheave, suppose you are having a sheave on which this rope will be moving. Now, this exactly if there is a that smooth surface, or if you are having a core and then we are having a strands like this. Now, when it is resting on a sheave where it is passing through this load, suppose this is exactly the sheave, and then you are having this load over here, suspended loads are there, and then what happens, this rope is supported over here, this is their sheave, then this sheave is exactly, if you see the cross sections, it is like that, this is the axis. Now, that means the wire rope is standing over here. Now, when this is supported, a more area is getting supported, means the load is uniformly distributed. If here it is there, the whole load is coming over only at 2 points. As a result, there will be, you will be having the more wear and tear of the outer surface of the rope will be taking place. So, that is why this locked coil rope are used wherever, if you see a cage is going down, if this is your going to your underground mine, now you are having a cage is suspended by this rope. Now, if it is moving up and down, there will be oscillations of the cage. So, the people will be having uncomfortable. That is why inside that shaft there will be the guide ropes, and there will be a grooves by which it will be holding over here, and then that means when the cage goes up and down about this rope, it is exactly holding it like that and then moving. So, that means this rope will be subjected to your frictions with this shoe with which it will be gripping. So, that is why the locked coil rope will be used as a guide rope in the in your winding installations. Similarly, half lock coil rope, here you can use, because of the cross section of the half lock type, here also you can get a just like a rail sections, are these are the cross sections of the wire rope, they will be also making a smoother surface. So, there is sometimes what we do, that if we are having a strand like this, all are round strand, then the total supporting this structure, it will be less. What we can make? We can make the strands looking like this, a triangular strand. So, if you make a triangular strand like this, the outer surface will become smoother. So, that is what exactly is shown in this figure over here. So, that is way how the wire ropes are being manufactured. So, you can see that these ropes can be classified depending on how the wires are laid. There are ordinary lay and there is a Lang's lay. Lang's lay, it was a John Lang, he exactly thought that if we wind, that is wires in the strand and the strands in the rope, if they are made in the same direction, he thought that this will be give a better rope, but exactly he was wrong. But this Lang's lay is one where both are in the same direction. So, this ordinary lay is where they are having in the opposite directions. So, some resistance to wear, abrasion and fatigue and scuffing, they say that this is because of the total area on which the load is getting supported is increased in case of your this Lang's lay. So, this when that whether you are winding in the right hand directions or you are winding in the left hand directions, depending on that, the wear rope can be said as a right lay or left lay. Lay means how exactly the winding is done, how the wires have been laid down. Because of that, they say regular lay or that say or ordinary lay or right hand lay or a left hand lay. So, here you can see in a right lay, you can see that first figure and that this figure, that is a right hand, and this is your left lay. So, these are the different type of lay. Then you can see that in a Lang's lay, in that is your C and D, these are Lang's lay, where ropes are made on both strands lay and rope lay in the same directions. This is how ropes are classified, and there the applications will be depending on the how they will be requiring flexibility. You can have this alternate lay. You see here, for getting more flexibility, there one rope is a regular lay, another is Lang's lay, and then they have made over there. So, mostly you will find the right regular lay RRL ropes are mostly used. So, you can see that which is better, that is how the wear rope behaves when it moves. You can say the Lang's lay rope has a longer exposed length. Now, if on the sheave it is coming, because this, if you say this is the regular lay and this is the Lang's lay, you can see here a longer length is being exposed. So, because of that, it is having that is the load is distributed over a bigger area. So, the wears will be getting minimum wear. That is what is observed over there. I have already told about the triangular strand. These are the triangular strand to make it a smoother rope. Then we can have this sometimes on the wear rope you can give a plastic coat depending on the type of uses. Sometimes in the wear rope you may have a plastic fill. So, this something plastic coated. These are different type of, so give a smoother and then to protect the wear ropes, increase the life. That is how the different type of wear ropes are made of. So, when you go for designing a wear rope for a particular purpose, you need to calculate what will be the lay length. Lay length means when you are having a, suppose your one wears will be that will be making like this. So, from one to the other, say that is exactly when a rope will be making like this, you can see here that the same one will be going and then it is coming over here. So, this distance just like your wavelength, that is called your lay length. So, where rope diameter it will be depending on depending on the load, you will have to design that what should be the diameter of the rope. Now, if for very heavy load, if the diameter of the rope is very big, then to turn over the sheave diameter also will have to be bigger, because that's what exactly need to be calculated. Now, what could be the maximum length of suspension a wear rope will be giving, that also need to be calculated sometimes, because if you are going to have a say 2 kilometer deep mining, if you are going down 2 kilometer to the 2000 meter, then if you are having say 50 say your 50 millimeter diameter wear rope, if you are hanging it over there, you can find out depending on the steel used, the total how much that steel material will be suspended from the top. Now, its own self weight it can get extended, because then it may rupture over there. So, that is why for the safety purposes you will have to find out that to what length the rope will have to work, depending on that much load, that strength should be there. Even if it elongates, it will not be able to, it should withstand. So, those load calculations is a very important calculations in wear rope design. Then you will have to design that what will be the your type of directions, in which way, whether you will be using a lay lang, that is a right lay or a Lang's lay, or regular lay or a Lang's lay, will be depending on where you are using. If you are using a small sheave having a more flexibility required, then you cannot use some of the very thick wear rope, because that the flexibility is less. So, depending on those application criteria you will have to select. So, that what type of core, then mainly the fatigue resistance, because when you are using a wear rope on a repeatedly moving applications, then what exactly the service life is required. Depending on the service life required and how much fatigue it will be undergoing, then you will have to select the material and you will have to design the wear rope. So, you may sometimes think of that more the flexible wear rope, higher is the fatigue resistance of the wear rope. If you are going to make more flexible, that is, you will have to have more fatigue resistance, otherwise the rope will fail. Then Lang's lay ropes are more fatigue resistance, because they have got the wear and the wear in the strands and the strands in the wear being in the same directions, they have got more flexibility and fatigue resistance. So, now ropes that have larger wear forming the outside of the strands are most resistant to wear than the wear rope having smaller wears. So, these are the things. Then you can see here the length of a rope, as I said, that exactly that how where it has started the trend and then it is coming over there, that is the way how you measure the length. Now, the different ropes have got different tensile strength, their ductility, wearing surface, whether that will be having a light duty or medium duty, wear cross sections, how you will be determining the cross sections with the material and load. So, different type of rope will be giving you different. Now, that exactly if a wear rope is made of say 6 strands and each strand is having say 19 wear, that is a 6 by 19 wear rope. Now, that depending on the wear rope's diameter, you can find out what is the total cross section of the material, and then if you find out the diameter of the wear rope, there exactly you will find that depending on the total cross section of the material and the total cross section of the wear rope, there is a difference. Depending on that, we can say that there is a how much void space is there. So, that will be exactly affecting the strength of the rope. So, this wear diameter and their ratios are important. Similarly, that for what type of core material you will be using. In a metal core, with an ordinary metal core can be there, or with special duty wire rope core can be there, or organic fiber could be a core. A considerable amount of ropes is made with organic cores, which are designed not only for safeguarding strands from the getting displaced from the falling in, but also for lubrications of the inner layer of the rope wire and for prevention of the inner corrosions, because that fiber it can take the lubricant, so that inside when the wires will be rubbing to each other, they will get lubricated. Now, there is also a type of rope called preformed wire rope, because when they will be having a particular helical winding, if the wire itself is be given some grooves, so that helical grooves they will be fitting together, and then if the rope is suspended, it will not get twisted or unwound. That is called what? Preformed wire rope. Then the multi-strand ropes built up for 18 strands range in 2 layers around the central organic core are utilized for vertical load lifting with machines having small diameter drum. These ropes use larger cross section wires for the same rope diameter, giving higher strength and at the same time have considerable flexibility and lesser untwisting tendency. So, we will have to study the different literature on rope to know how exactly ropes are used. So, there depending on their lay length, depending on that how they will be putting, and that you can find it out from the literature, they use and or wire rope in different machines. So, basically the wire rope will be selected based on the strength, flexibility, resistance to wear and corrosion, how they will be jointing, cross sections of the packing efficiency, that is how the wire ropes are, how compact they are, how there will be endurance to fatigue, and then how they will be getting elongated, and then weight per meter. These are the parameters considered while selecting the ore. And the efficiency of rope construction, it is exactly the breaking load on the rope, and then you will have to, that is your breaking load of the wear. If there are n number of wear, then their total breaking load and then the total overall rope breaking load. This ratio is called your efficiency of rope constructions. How tightly or what lay length you have made, what type of diameter you have selected, what type of core you have used, depending on that, this BR, that breaking load of the rope will be depending, and that way you can find out that what is the efficiency of rope constructions. And then you can calculate out easily some simple calculations, like here is an example. If a particular rope diameter, they can carry a particular amount of load, then the maximum safe mass, that is how much exactly the material is used, can be calculated from the very simple air force into mg equations, and you can find out. That means in this particular example, your 25.6 this ton of material is required for raising this 251 kilonewton capacity. So, that is way you can, if you know this mass, then you can find out exactly what should be the diameter of each wire. That type of calculations, design calculations are carried out. Now, there is regarding the pressure, how much it will be giving on the groove, it can be calculated by the rope tension. If it is there, if in any sheave, if you are having the material over here, you are getting these two tensions, then on here on the sheave how much load will be coming, that is calculated from the by these equations as you have seen here. So, you have seen here that this is exactly that pressure on that groove can be calculated out, and then the d by d ratio, that is your diameter of the rope and the diameter of the wear, their ratio is a very important parameter to know. If you know by that ratio, then you can find out what is the service life of the rope. That is your, if the d by d ratio is higher, then the service life you can get more. This type of things you can find out from the rope manufacturer's catalog, and you need to do it. So, you can use this type of graph for selecting your wire rope. So, wire rope is used in mining for many important and critical operations like winding, haulage, then your machinery subsystems like your winding systems in a drag line or in electric rope shovel or in a drilling the drilling string or in a diamond drilling, for a wireline drilling, for taking out the core when you are doing the core drilling. Then selection of maintenance of wire rope has a direct impact on the productivity and performance of mining operations. So, with this I want that you should read some of the references, like we have got number of literatures as well as book. Handbook for mining engineering, they discuss a lot on rope constructions and maintenance. In our next class, we will be discussing the common problems that are faced with wire ropes, and then how those type of problems can be resolved, and also how to determine the diameter of a wire rope for a particular installations. Thank you very much.